If you're a middle-aged mom like me, you may have more or less gray hair than I do, but you and I both know that some of the most important years that we remember most vividly are our teen years. And this is one of the main reasons why we can become triggered as our kids go through their adolescence. It's actually backed by research. Not only am I saying it, but there really is a propensity for the brain to very much remember the adolescent years because of all the changes that are going on in our brains and the significant situations or experiences that we have between the ages of 10 and say 20 or 25. So when you're in a tough situation with your teenager or they're going through something really big and you say, oh, I can remember that first breakup, I can remember my first job scooping ice cream, I can, and you're trying to connect or relate with them because you do vividly remember, even though you might be in your 40s or 50s, you do vividly remember that, and it feels like just yesterday. Those feelings are just so readily accessible to you, and your teenager doesn't, they look at you and they think like, how can you possibly relate? And yes, life is much more different now than it was when I grew up in the 80s, but the feelings are the same. And the one thing I want to remind you of is something I tell myself all the time. My daughter isn't me. My sons aren't me. Just because I made certain choices during my teen years doesn't mean my kids will. Don't project your anxiety about things that you did in the past onto the future and onto your kids.